As you guys can see up on the screen today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Aerc Technologies Incorporated. This is ticker symbol AERC. This is a company that had recently IPO'd and things were going pretty well. Obviously, you can see here just kind of like a slow and steady up and up and up. Not really slow and steady, I guess. Kind of just like a parabolic up and up and up, from November 24th to November 29th, getting all the way up to $117.35 being, kind of the all-time high at this point, before it started this very, very quick decline. I mean, this thing has absolutely crashed down today in the market. This thing was down almost 80% in a single day. This was rough. And a lot of people, hopefully not too many people, but obviously a lot of people must have lost a lot of money. And this is so strange. This stock makes absolutely no sense. Why it went up, why it went down. It's all just bizarre. So I want to talk a little bit about it. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video and subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So obviously, the overall stock market didn't have a very good day today. The S&P was down right around 2%. So there's a lot of blood in the water. A lot of people lost money today. A lot of stocks are down massively because if the S&P is down 2%, a lot of the more speculative stocks, a lot of the riskier assets are going to be down 4, 5, 6, 8, whatever percent. Now, that doesn't really explain why AERC is down 80%, but it tells you a little bit of the tale. Some of what we knew before, heading into this, was that Aerc stock price had soared up 1,074% since last week's IPO. Here's the kicker. Despite no revenues. That might be kind of a red flag if you see something up like that. AERC soared nearly 45% Monday as the air filtering startup rose sharply for a third straight session, up almost 1,100% since last week's IPO despite having no revenue. AERC closed at a session high of $117.35, gaining 44.5% on the day, and 1,073.5% from the $10 a share that the stock's IPO was priced at last Wednesday. This thing IPO'd for $10 and it ripped up to 44 right away, and then from there it ripped up to 80 very, very quickly, and then to 120 very, very quickly, before again crashing down to where we are today at $25, which is still 2.5 times above where this thing is IPO'd at. Still makes absolutely no sense when you take a look at more of the fundamentals and everything into the company. But for it to have ever been at $117 makes absolutely no sense. And that's where I am seeing a ton of red flags. Was this a massive scam? Was this some kind of massive orchestrated pump and dump? A lot of these articles are going to talk about how, people were just really excited for an IPO and it got a little too hot. It flew a little too high, a little too fast. That makes no sense because I had not even heard about this company, and I'm looking at stocks and the stock market and everything all the time, and maybe I'd seen that this stock was going to IPO or whatever, scrolled past it, didn't really think anything of it, but I didn't see these massive gains. I didn't see a ton of people talking about this thing when it was up 1,100%, and that doesn't mean obviously I don't see everything, but I'm just saying it's not like there was a reason why this thing should have been up as high as it was, and then obviously you hate to see something crashing down like this on people getting absolutely burnt. And intraday this thing was down even lower, $15 it got down as low as, which is just absolutely crazy, pretty disgusting. AERC rocketed up almost 700% in its first trading session to close at $80 right around, which again also doesn't make sense. The stock has been soaring even though the company reported in its 1A filing that it had 5 employees, 0 revenues, and about a $4.7 million loss in its first reporting period. AERC went public as a Reg A plus IPO, which allows businesses to raise $75 million or less with reduced documentation. They do make an air purifying device called Purgo, which is designed to filter out viruses, fungi, and bacteria from the air in hospitals, airplanes, elevators, and other sites. So obviously, there is maybe a little bit of reason why, we'd have some of that hype, some of that, excitement. It was kind of perfect timing. They're going IPO right as Omicron variant or whatever is starting to come out. So, maybe people saw a lot of potential and opportunity there. But again, a company that has 5 employees, a company that has $5 million loss, no revenue. I don't know. It's just a lot of red flags, a lot of, buzzers going off in my head right now. Shares rose Monday on apparent continued enthusiasm for the IPO. Again, not really any news or anything. All they can say is apparent enthusiasm, coupled with the company announcing it had formally closed the offering. Okay, wow, that's major news. That should lead to an 1,100% gain. AERC added the stock's underwriters, partly exercising their over-allotment options by buying 14,000 extra shares. We also have this, Aerc Clean Technologies announced its closing of IPO offering and partial exercise of over-allotment option. They announced the closing of their IPO of 2.5 right around million shares of common stock at a public offering price of $10 per share. This offering included the sale of 14,000 in shares in connection with the partial exercise by the underwriters of their over allotment option. And then obviously today, Aerc Clean shares plummet after meteoric rise following IPO. And that kind of gets us to where we are today. So this made absolutely no sense. I hope you guys weren't involved in this. I hope you guys didn't lose a bunch of money. I hope you guys are not, waking up or checking your portfolios or whatever today and being down 80%. But just kind of be mindful, be careful. Obviously, no financial advice or anything like that. But, when I'm personally looking at things, I'm not necessarily looking to throw a ton of money into something with 5 employees, no revenues, a $5 million loss on the books, especially something that just IPO'd. I mean, that's just so many red flags, so many just volatility warnings, just absolute nightmares to get involved with. Again, I don't know if this was some kind of rug pull. I don't know if this was some kind of, pump and dump or scam or some kind of orchestrated thing behind the scenes. I really hope it wasn't, but, you could definitely make the case that it seems like a possibility at this point, which is really, really sad. So, I don't know. I just want to cover this because it was so crazy, so absurd to go from $10 to $120 back down to $15 today. But yeah, really, really crazy. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about AERC stock. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.